Alright guys, here we are, ready for round one. I won the die roll, and I most definitely do not want to play first with this deck. That extra card draw is hopefully what's going to help me win. So I actually get all three of my lands, which is nice to see. I've got a turn 3 Mind Rot. If I draw an island, I've got 2 statutes on deck ready to fire. So I'm pretty okay with this. I will keep those 7. So my opponent drops a Plains and a Soul Mender of his own. We have one hiding somewhere in the deck. So I will drop an island and I will say go. We top deck a Research Assistant, which is nice. I can pop that down and it can block that Soul Mender. It can block probably anything that he plays this turn, and hopefully next turn. He is white-red, so he's going to have something. Borderland Marauders, Goblin Rough Riders. He's probably going to be pretty aggressive, which is not necessarily the greatest for us. He does not, however, have a turn 2 play. I draw my own Soul Mender, so that's nice to see, but I will drop this Research Assistant and say go. It could get Lightning Bolted, or Lightning Struck, rather. But no, it's going to live. Yeah, it's going to live. Okay, so next turn we do have a Mind Rot to drop 2 of his cards. He's going to play here a Goblin Rough Rider, as I said. Unfortunately, my Research Assistant does not block that. So we hit a Flesh to Dust, which is good. I'm going to need some more lands pretty soon, however. But this turn, we are going to Mind Rot him, take away 50% of his cards. He's at 4 cards. He's going to go down to 2 here. I would expect to see a land and something else, maybe even another land. Well, he's thinking about it. Maybe he's got some big decisions here. So in goes a Bronze Sable and a Crowd's Favor. So not great cards that I got out of his hand. The Bronze Sable was okay to see go away because it's just another aggressive creature that he could have. I'm surprised to not see a land come out. That means that his hand may be land and something, and then whatever he drew. So in comes the Goblin. I'm not going to trade here. He does not actually have his 4th land, so he kept back or either drew a Gargoyle Sentinel. Let's see, so I drew a Dissipate. I'm really needing that extra island here. So I guess my real option is just to play Soul Mender and say go. I might chump block this turn, otherwise I would take 6 and go to 10. We'll see if he has anything. So I really want that extra blue mana. It would turn on all 3 of my counter spells. Statute, I have a blue creature, so I would actually get to loot after countering something. In addition, a 4th land would just allow me to loot with the Research Assistant. The Rough Rider is going to come in here, not the Gargoyle for some reason. Maybe he didn't realize he had to activate it before declare attackers. So I'll take this 3 pretty gladly and go to 13. So he's still down a land. Down comes Noresco Swiftclaw. I'm okay to see that because I can block that with my Soul Mender if need be. I draw a Negate, not a land, unfortunately. That's not good. At least that counter spell is on with my current land situation. So I'll just pass the turn here. I would really expect him to activate this Gargoyle Sentinel this turn. And he would be able to get in the air for 3 and on the ground with Rough Rider for 3. We're both stuck on 3 mana, but of course his deck is drafted properly, and being red-white, 3 mana is probably where you want to be for most of your creatures. So yeah, he's going to activate the Gargoyle Sentinel. It's going to swing in for 3. The Rough Rider is going to swing in for 3. Is the Swiftclaw going to come in? No. So I could take 6 here and go to 7. With Soulmender, I would go back up to 8. Or I could chump block with my Research Assistant. I think that might be what I want to do, just to buy myself a turn. Or maybe I could chump with the Soulmender. And then if I do draw a land, I could get a loot activation out of the Research Assistant. So I think that's what I'll do. I'll block the Rough Rider with the Soulmender. I will activate the Soulmender and gain a life. Go up to 14 and then go down to 11. Lose the Soulmender. Looks like maybe he didn't draw a land again. I draw an Evolving Wilds, which is not the land we're looking for. But it will look for the land I'm looking for. So I will just pass the turn back. I can chump with my Research Assistant if need be. And then next turn, if I draw a land, Flesh Dust is online, which would need to kill that Sentinel. However, I think I'm just too far behind here. We had a good chance with him being stuck on 3 lands this entire game. But with me also being stuck on 3 lands, we just fell way too far behind. So yeah, he's going to activate the Gargoyle Sentinel here. So he's going to come in maybe for 9. No, he's going to come in with everybody. So I guess I chump block the Swiftclaw and take 3, 6, 7. I think that's about our option here. So let's chump block the Swiftclaw. They'll trade. I will activate this Evolving Wilds and search for an island. Or maybe I should actually search for a swamp. No, nothing's really going to save me here. So I'll just search for an island. And there's the swamp I wanted. So Flesh to Dust is online. I would still take exactly lethal. Jace's Ingenuity is not going to draw me anything that I need. So rather than show him cards, I'm just going to concede here. He didn't see any counterspells, which is nice, despite the fact that I'm holding 4. He also didn't see any removal. So I will just concede here. And then go off to sideboarding. So he had a Soulmender, he has a Bronze Sable, he has an Oresco Swiftclaw. Fester Gloom might be an option here. I think I like it possibly over the, maybe over the Necromancer's Assistant. I mean, that's one less creature, but... Let's actually... Well, I didn't see much non-creature spells out of him. I saw one Crowd Saver, and that was it. So I might actually sideboard out the Negate here for the Fester Gloom. Mind Rot, Unmake the Grave, Solemn Offering, Pillar of Light. Pillar of Light might not even be a good card in this matchup if he is really low red-white creatures. But I think we'll keep it in just in case he has any sort of pump spells, or if he throws a Divine Favor on something. That would probably push it into Pillar of Light range. Actually, it would, because Divine Favor is +3, I believe, which would put a 1/1 into 4 range. So yeah, I think we'll do that. We'll put the Fester Gloom in place of the Negate, and we'll submit. Hopefully we draw more lands. 3 lands is what significantly hurt us there. And that was on the draw, too. No, I don't want to play first. Well, we have our 3 lands again. Unfortunately, we have nothing unless I hit another island for Statute. But I think that's what it's going to be. We're going to hope for that. I think mulliganing with this deck would really hurt. So he plays a Hot Soup. Not terribly concerned about that. So I will drop a Plains and say go. I top decked a Swamp, so I've got my 2 black. So my Flesh to Dust, my Endless Obedience, even my Sign in Blood are online. I do really need the second blue, though, for my Statutes. And there's my second blue, so let's pop that down. So I still have nothing to play. I need to hope that he doesn't just massively curve out here. I wouldn't mind top decking a Mind Rot, taking away probably 2 cards he's really hoping to play, and putting him basically into top deck mode. But we'll take 2 here. He will play Goblin Rough Rider. Ooh, Krenko's Enforcer. That's problematic. Alright, so let's drop our Swamp, and then we'll put down Research Assistant, which can block the Bronze Sable, and I actually have Ephemeral Shields up to protect it. Though he may just throw Hot Soup on the Bronze Sable, possibly. Yep, that is what he does. So I've got 4 unblockable coming in at me. Next turn I will have my statutes online, as well as just my research assistant being online. So yeah, I will just pass the turn here. If he plays something, I will statute it and get to loot. If he doesn't play anything, I get to loot. So I'm looting either way. He's going to swing in for 4, take me to 10. I'm obviously going to be looting here for Flesh Dust or anything that can sort of buy me some time. He is going to play Rough Rider, which I will counter. I draw a Swamp. I will discard that Swamp. I draw a Flesh to Dust, which is exactly what I want. So I will just pass the turn here. I will Flesh to Dust the Krenko's Enforcer because I can Fester Gloom the Bronze Sable. Unless he plays something that's really bad, in which case I will need to counter it. Let's see, is this really bad? This is really bad. That's going to be countered. Does it get exiled as well, or is it just to the graveyard? No, it's just to the graveyard. But I'm definitely okay countering that. But that is going to be sitting in his graveyard, ready to give things, what is it, +2/+2 in lifelink and first strike, which isn't good. I will pitch this island. So he's down to 1 card, and I'm going to kill off his Krenko's Enforcer next turn. So this is actually almost what my deck wants to do. It wants to stabilize with not much left. Unfortunately, I don't have the life left to really get to that stabilization point. So we're just going to have to pass the turn here. So we can Flesh to Dust that Krenko's Enforcer. We'll take 2 off the Bronze Sable. Oh, he did have the mana to activate that. So we're going to take 4 off the Bronze Sable here. We are going to kill the Krenko's Enforcer at least. So we're not dead. But we are dead next turn if I don't draw basically the Fester Gloom. So we take 4, go to 2, he goes to 24. We hit a Divination, that's going to give us another chance. Do I need double white? No. Double white's only for triplicate spirits. So we Divination into not a Fester Gloom. That's problematic. Well, let's see what's in his hand. Let's Mind Rot him. What was he holding on to? He was holding on to a Soul Mender and a Selfless Cathar. We actually wouldn't have been too bad off here, but without getting that Fester Gloom, we don't quite make it. And Fester Gloom was not coming, it was nothing but lands. So that was round 1. As expected, we did not do terribly well. That second game, though, was pretty good. We almost got to where my deck wants to be. You know, several turns in, lots of mana, and not much left on his board. Had we have been able to get rid of that Bronze Sable, maybe I should have sideboarded in the Solemn Offering, possibly. But had we been able to get rid of that Bronze Sable, things would have been pretty different. We had a Triplicate Spirits in hand, ready to come down, and we would have been able to start pinging back at him. But that's match 1. We'll see how match 2 goes, and I'll see you then.